all the time.
Welcome back to the latest episode of...
Oh, my God.
Yes, it was Rachel Maddow's Y2K. As we sit on the brink of a nuclear showdown with North Korea, this manic mouthpiece fixates on a 12-year-old tax return belonging to Trump, and boy, did she sell it like a timeshare in a Florida swamp. It was ShamWow meets Shark Tank without the charm and twice as smug.
Oh, my God.
It's been a little bit of a hullabaloo around here this evening. I apologize for being a little flustered.
People literally were tweeting at me, "Shut up, get to Rachel."
We've got some significant breaking news tonight. Donald Trump's tax returns have surfaced, at least a portion of Donald Trump's past tax returns. This is the first time we believe any federal tax returns for Donald Trump have been obtained by anyone, certainly by any news organization, since he became a presidential candidate, let alone president.
Oh, my God. But rather than tell us anything up front, she tap dances like a barefoot drunk on hot sand. Maybe she'll break the news to us now.
Tonight, we have this exclusive first look at their reporting at what they have obtained. In just a second, we are going to show you exactly what it is that we've got. Whether or not you are a supporter of Donald Trump in general, whether or not you care what's in his tax returns, it ought to give you pause that his explanation for why he couldn't release them.
Oh, jeez. So the more she delayed, the more we sensed that maybe the tip of the iceberg is just a tip and there is no iceberg. But maybe she'll tell us everything now.
Is he not as rich as he says he is? Is he not as charitable as he says he is? Was he, in fact, under audit when he was using that as an excuse to not release his tax returns? Was that worse than just a bad excuse? Was he really being audited? There's small reasons to be interested, right? There will continue to be unrelenting pressure to find Donald Trump's tax returns, to expose Donald Trump's tax returns. And I am sure it is only the start, but it's a start. And our little piece of it, we just got it. We'll go through it next.
Next. What is wrong with her? A hybrid of Alex Jones and Alex Trebek, all trick, no treat. Let's give her one more chance.
Let me give you the basics. Aside from the numbers being large, these pages are straightforward. He paid $38 million, looks like $38 million in taxes. He took a big write-down of $103 million. More on that later. If you add up the lines for income, he made more than $150 million in that year. Mazel tov.
So that's it? Talk about a big fat zero, or 6 zeros with a 38 in front of it. Trump paid $36 million in taxes at a tax rate higher than Obama, Comrade Bernie, and MSNBC. I salute you, Maddow. The Pulitzer is in the mail. What's next? Will you be revealing Steve Bannon's disturbing ankle tattoo? I hear it's a dolphin. Huh? So when America hears this news, what do you think they think? Outrage, scandal? No, they think, wow, Trump's rich. Who knew? So how did Rachel fall for this? Trump set it up by fueling the intrigue. Remember when the Roadrunner would paint a tunnel entrance on a rock formation so the coyote would slam right into it? Trump just did that to Rachel. He baited the trap for months, pretending that somewhere lurked the Ark of the Covenant. And now MSNBC has to peel Rachel and her smirk off that stone wall. Trump wins again by the left simply losing their minds and their ethics and their dignity and their self-control. It was awesome. So, Eric.
Thank you. Thank you for coming to me first.
Do you think she was right to milk this for all it's worth?
I think she did what she does. She was milking it. She was, as media called, she trolled everybody.
Yeah.
But it was hyped. I'll be honest with you. I tuned right in, at the top of the show, and I was waiting, and I was waiting. The problem is she sold it as historically unprecedented, right? And then we get this, and in the aftermath, it's been compared to the Oscar fail by Warren Beatty. It's been compared to Steve Harvey's Miss Universe. It's been called a televised suicide career. Man. But if you look at it this way, she made the story from Donald Trump's tax returns to Rachel Maddow's massive fail.
Right.
The question is, was this an exquisite setup by Donald Trump? Because when you really take the tax return apart, it's great for him.
Yeah.
He paid 25% a rate of 25% federally. That's not state. That's not local. That's massive tax burden. Higher than Barack Obama paid, higher than Mitt Romney paid, higher, as you point out, than Bernie Sanders, higher than anyone. And you have to say, if it is, like you said, did Trump just paint the tunnel in the front of a rock formation? It feels like it, seems like it. I was waiting to see what the left would do, or I was waiting to see what the rest of the MSNBC crowd would do. So I got up early and I watched my friend Morning Joe.
Yeah.
He took the day off. So, Scarborough, good job. Yeah. You're never going to take a day off. Take
he was under his covers in his snuggie.
Exactly.
Kimberly, I felt bad for Geraldo because he started trending immediately.
Because of Capone.
They kept comparing it to the vault, and I'm going like, maybe Geraldo finally can lose the vault. It's now Maddow's returns.
People were writing that on Twitter, so I was live for this national massacre. I don't know what was going on. So they said, you know, run upstairs, downstairs, doing O'Reilly with Dana. They said, go up and do Tucker. So I sat there with one earpiece and listening to her, one earpiece listening for, like, the big reveal.
And all my texts.
And Dana's text back and forth, and we were just, like, cracking up. And then just waiting for it, I'm like, wow, so this is a Fox News alert. Donald Trump is really rich. I mean, I'm like, he wins again. And so then the guy that came on that was like, hey, I didn't do anything wrong. Somebody just stuck it in my box. I'm like, okay, that's like, who has like a box anyway? You mean your email? Like, how did this happen? So then he says, well, maybe it was Donald Trump who did this.
Yes.
He said, and he also may have leaked the nude photos of his wife to the Post. So that was the big breaking news on Rachel's show. I was like, wow, this is unbelievable to me.
I loved it. You know, Dana, she seemed a bit frazzled, and I'm wondering if as it was moving forward, she realized she didn't have anything.
Yeah,
and she started
I got that sense.
Yeah.
I had never actually watched her show.
Yeah.
I had actually never watched an entire 30 minutes. We got to 9:38.
Yeah.
And Peter's like, can we go?
He'd had
and
enough.
Jasper's like, well, we got to get out of here, Mom. She really knows how to bury the lead. And you did get a sense that as she's doing, she's like, maybe no, it's not going to be that big a deal.
Yeah.
And but here's the thing. If the tax returns had been mailed to somebody here,
Right.
we'd have done the story. It might have looked a lot different. Would we have hyped it? I don't know. Maybe not as much. But, I mean, people in show business do this kind of thing. I don't think that any...
Yeah, but you could sense at the beginning that it was going bad.
Poorly.
Because they had overhyped it so much that it was like...
Wouldn't you have... You're an editor. Would you, in your former life as magazine editor, would you have led with the number?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I said, look, and then I would have laughed about it. I don't know, Juan, was this a good idea? Should they, I mean, to delete like that? I mean.
No, I was just, you know, I didn't see the show, so I was watching your lead-in tonight here here on the 5, and I was starting to yawn. I mean, it's boring. I was just like, what is going on?
It wasn't boring.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't boring.
It was like crazy conspiracy stuff, too. I don't like conspiracy theories on either side. I've never seen left conspiracy theories like that. At one point, I tweeted, who's on first? I don't understand the Russians and the Cyprus and the Greece and the whatever.
The way it struck me, it was just like blah, 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 and there was no there. But I will say, to my mind, I mean, the effect, if there's a genius to Donald Trump, the genius here would be it distracts from everything else that's really going on.
That's what Rob Reiner said.
And it also, even just staying to the tax issue, he still hasn't put out his tax. We're talking about 10-year-old taxes and just a portion that was revealed on the Maddow show.
He never said that he was under audit for 2005.
And the thing about he paid 25%. He paid the alternate minimum tax. That was the least he could pay.
Well, everyone does, Ron.
But I'm
more
saying,
than you have to.
No, but the point is...
The thing about that is it's $31 million of alternative minimum tax.
I'm saying this guy took such a big write-off. I think he claimed millions in losses. I can't remember exactly how much. 100 million losses.
Yeah, and America just saw.
And we know, that the New York Times had revealed some little bit of another tax return back in the 90s. And in that one, he took $916 million. This is supposed to be a great businessman.
You're reaching. This is
no, I'm not. This is what he did.
This is what you do.
But it's all relative.
And it's all legal.
Yeah.
It's all legal.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
CNBC went after her,
this is not the
Oh, my God.
Tweet.
CNC went after MSNBC. That's like a sister going after her brother. Hey, we have this sound on tape. Donald Trump, as you know, is going to be with Tucker Carlson tonight at 9 p.m. for, I think it's a full hour, I'm pretty sure. Although, who knows? I don't want to over-promote it for 24 hours.
Wait, it could be historically unprecedented.
Exactly.
Tucker will have the first page.
He has Donald Trump's seamless history, I believe. All right, so we have sound tape of Donald Trump reacting to Rachel Maddow's so-called scoop.
I have no idea where they got it, but it's illegal, and you're not supposed to have it, and it's not supposed to be leaked. And it's certainly not an embarrassing tax return at all, but it's an illegal thing. They've been doing it. They've done it before, and I think it's a disgrace.
So he just comes out of this smelling like a rose.
Winning.
I don't think it smells like a rose because, I mean, the one thing that the left had to say about this that actually I think is substantive is, hey, he reacted right away. Apparently the audit's not a problem, so why is he refusing to release his tax returns?
Maybe he is trolling them. He just set them up.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and I mean, to the point of that CNBC article was scathing about what Rachel Maddow did. He said, you helped Donald Trump.
What would you do if you were her tonight? You know, I wonder what she'll do.
I would watch Tucker.
Well, that's what I usually do. That's why I'd never seen her show.
You were watching me a little bit too, didn't you say?
You know what this felt like, though?
Yeah, we went in the break.
So rather than in her A block, she came out and she didn't show the first page, basically the money shot. She didn't show it right away. What she did was she took you through these conspiracy theories that Dana referenced. Through, you know, he bought a home, he sold it, but the person he sold it to was Russian.
A Russian oligarch. Trigger word.
And then they start trying to pull at these strings that, frankly, had no substance. I mean, I've done this for years.
But that's how I feel about conspiracies on the right, too.
I
think I hear something.
But these
it must be the wire in my head.
They don't. If you listen to everything she said with this bank, with this banker, with Kelly, brought Kellyanne Connolly into this in the A block,
and Wilbur Ross.
Before they even tell you what the numbers are, it felt like someone had pulled her aside and said, "Hey, by the way, these aren't really bad numbers."
And
then between her getting the numbers and tweeting about it,
to write all that stuff. She needed.
I did have a little flashback. When I worked at the Justice Department as a spokesperson there, I was assigned to the tax division as one of the divisions I had to do this answer press calls for. And David K. Johnston would call all the time. The guy is a reporter who knows every inch of the tax code. And the tax code bores me to death.
Yeah. You know what? I wonder if SNL is going to spoof her, but is she sacred ground? Like, if they spoof Rachel Maddow, will it be in a loving way? No, it'll be the way they do Hillary. It'll be, Trump is still the bad guy, but she was...
David Johnson admitted that he didn't do anything wrong. He's like, he paid what was the legal, amount at the time. It's a proper filing. Doesn't appear to be any illegality. So, therefore, maybe Donald Trump sent it to me.
But the big story here would be, why doesn't he release his tax return so we can know about the Russian connection, if it exists, if it doesn't exist? And the audit is not a problem. Come on, Donald Trump, do it, baby. Put it out there.
Two things very quickly. David K. Johnson, the reporter that they had on, also wrote a book last year calling an anti-Trump book. I think at one point he calls him Carnival Bark or something. So he had a motivation in doing it. And number two, all these people, even my friend Mark Cuban, who says Trump's not a real billionaire. Well, if you make $150 million after taxes, after write-offs in a year, I'm guessing he's a real billionaire.
Yeah.